Alright, after watching this game, it's very obvious why the Sun are at the bottom, because there's just no connectivity on the defensive end, and I lost track of the amount of straight line drives or back cuts they gave up. It's bad enough to not have a first line, but what makes them even worse is them not having a second line, because the low rotation is never there or always too late, and by constantly giving up easy ones at the rim, it's no coincidence why teams are easily establishing a rhythm against them to drop 100. Gabby Williams was exploiting that weakness the entire night, and Sky Diggs was exploiting all the screening actions the Storm were running for her, especially off the rock so that she could catch it on the move, because once she turned the corner, she made the right read no matter what the coverage was. If the Suns' bigs were showing, that opened up the roll for their bigs because she was drawing two on the rock. Then if the Suns' bigs weren't high enough, she was getting to her spots to pull or getting downhill to finish. Then if she burned her defender, she swung the rock once she drew the help. And they were mainly running Iversons for her to get a clear side on the left with a rescreen, or running Spanulas for her to get to her left up top, so she was always playing to her strong hand. Even Erica Wheeler was solid on the rock, so those two were really controlling a lot of their offense and hitting a lot of timely shots to maintain their lead through three. But that quarter was really when the momentum started to slightly shift in favor of the Sun. I thought their offense was good in the first half, and a lot of that stemmed from Hartley handling the rock in the SNRs, because she was making the right reads once she turned the corner the same way Sky Diggs was on the other end. So if she forced the Storm's bigs to switch, she was pulling over top, then if the pocket was open, she was hitting it. Her play was a crucial part of their comeback in the second half, because the Storm's adjustment was to commit harder on the show or even blitz her off a screen, so she was being forced off the rock, and that was opening up the swings for Sheldon and Rivers to eat. Those two were just capitalizing off the Storm playing off them, or the Storm messing up a couple reds, and those two were always running the floor, so both of them were generating a lot of quick buckets or whistles. Tina Charles was a beneficiary of some of those rim runs, and she was just as important as both of them, because whenever the Sun needed a bailout throughout the night, she would either play bully ball against Megbagor in the post, or flash up top to take her off the dribble. That was really a one-sided matchup the entire night, and then even Lacan got involved in the fourth, because they had her on the rock to create, so whenever she got downhill, she was either finishing or spraying the JC for a Tracy from the right wing. Between her, JC, Rivers, and Charles, those four were basically responsible for that 23-6 run in about a 7-minute stretch. But as impressive as their offense was, it was really their defense that won them the game, because they completely shut out the Storm. Their effort increased in every aspect on that end of the floor, from their pressure to their denial, and more importantly, to their rotations, because there was never any help at the rim or any closeouts through three. All of a sudden, their bigs were finally sliding their feet and aggressive on the switch, and all of them were staying body to body, so they were forcing the Storm into a lot of late clock situations that resulted in a tough shot, or even worse, a turnover. But now that they've shown they can play real defense with this win, there's no excuse for them not playing with this level of intensity more consistently, because relying on their offense to energize them or even that sense of urgency isn't sustainable, so they've got to figure out how to replicate it for the full 40, and not only the last 10, just watch the tape.